How much fart exactly is on your average plane ride? Now science is doing big things, guys. Once again, one of these studies that I don't know who pays for these, but apparently people are investigating weird shit out there and spending money to do so. They're hiring professionals to do so. They're like, hey, we've always wondered as a society how much fart is on our average plane flight. Let's hire a professional to find out. What the hell? I mean, they're probably not busy designing, spaceships or rockets or other things that are probably more important to life on the planet. They're not inventing things to, remove all the plastic and pollution that we have. They have all this time on their hands. How about investigating some farts, scientists? Can't believe it. So how much fart is on your plane on any given time? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wondered that. So I mean, to me, this is kind of a fun study. Anyway, someone did the math. First of all, there are many unpleasant aspects of our air travel. We all know that. Not enough leg room, screaming babies. Again, which is why I want to live on the island of no babies. If anyone's down for that, please let's raise money via Kickstarter and let's build a hut on the beach there. One of the most disgusting things has to be the thought of all the farts that are wafting around the cabin on an average flight. I guess that's pretty disgusting, right? Not to mention the smell that's wafting out of your average airline bathroom. And did you know that flying makes you fart more? Yes, because of the drop in cabin pressure. Yes, I had no idea. Well, thank God that professors and scientists are on the case here. Jacob Rosenberg, a clinical professor at the University of Copenhagen, made the discovery after noticing that his stomach had bloated on a long flight. After clocking that his empty water bottle also expanded during the flight and then crumpled back when it came down to earth, he realized that the same thing was probably happening to our stomachs. Makes sense to me? He told the BBC, the pressure drops and the air must expand into more space. According to Jacob, the gas sitting inside the stomach then expands by 30%. And that's a lot. And it needs to go somewhere. So where do you think it goes? Well, the guy next to you, of course. With everyone strapped into their seats and around one bathroom per 80 passengers, it's unlikely that anyone will be polite enough to head to the toilets to let this gas come out. They're just going to let it go in their seats. Of course they are. I've done that many times. That's what you do. Shit, I've thrown up right there in front of the people I'm sitting with. You ever use the bark bag? In front of strangers? Been there. So it's safe to assume most people are letting it rip where they sit. This article's hilarious. But have you ever thought about how much fart actually is floating in the air? Well, they were crunching some numbers. The scientists, okay? The average person lets out between 0.5 and 1.5 liters of fart per day, according to Kyle Staler, an MD, gastroenterologist at Massachusetts General Hospital. Oh, masshole, that's me. So they worked out how much that would be per hour over a range of flights, then added 30% for the extra volume that Professor Rosenberg said comes out because of cabin pressure. So, add 30%. That's how much more we're farting. That's how much more gas there is. Then you times that by the number of maximum passengers seated on a plane. Okay. And then you have to, bring in the ratio of fresh air to recycled air. It's a lot of recycled air on the plane, right? So that fart air is coming right through. It's just being recycled. This is the weirdest thing ever. I can't believe I'm talking about this on Weird AF News. Okay, obviously some of the fartiest planes are the long-haul giant double-decker planes where people are stuffed in like sardines. Sure. Like for instance, the British Airways uses the Airbus 380, which seats over 500 people, and sometimes flies all the way to Singapore, which takes 12 hours. Unbelievable. In 13 hours, your average human would let out 0.54 liters of farts. With the added cabin pressure, that goes up to 0.7 liters of farts. If you times that by 500 passengers, that means the cabin would collect 368 liters of farts in the air across 550 square meters of cabin space. This would be halved because of the air filtering to about 184 liters. The same plane traveling from London to Miami, a 10-hour trip, would have 284 liters of fart in the air. Cut that in half because of the air filtering, and that's 142 liters of total fart air. On a short flight, the amount of fart on the plane is considerably less, of course. For instance, a Boeing 737-800 aircraft configured for about 189 economy passengers on a 3-hour flight. The amount a human would usually let out during that time is about 0.125 liters, so 0.162 with the extra 30%. If you times that by 189 passengers, that is 30 liters of fart in the air, cut in half because of air filtering, to about 15 liters of fart in the air. I can't believe this is happening. I mean, what I'm saying is I can't believe I'm covering this. Hey, you know what? Someone called me, Maria from Florida. You haven't heard this because you're, well, if you're listening to the podcast, you can hear Maria's call. But if you're watching this on YouTube, which I will post a link to my YouTube channel, you can't hear the calls because they're only on my podcast. But Maria called in from Florida and said, Jonesy, thank you. Not only do you make me laugh, but you educate me. So